These mortals have awakened the gods of old. We rise from our slumber to reveal our true power. Focus fire. Now to strike. To strike.
All right, back again with the battle tactics and war strategies. Getting into the second Anglo-Sikh war is going to be kind of a shorter stream, just because, well, this is only a series of conflicts. It's just a few rebellions that were put down by the British, ending the Sikh Empire. Unfortunate, but at the end, we're going to go over a couple of other things that are coming up soon, so should still be a fun stream. Alright, let's fucking get into it. Get into it, buddy. The Second Anglo-Sikh War was a military conflict between the Sikh Empire and East India Company, which took place from 1848 to 1849. 1 year. It resulted in the fall of the Sikh Empire and the annexation of the Punjab and what subsequently became the Northwest Frontier Province by the East India Company. On April 19th, 1848, look at that, one of the first photographs ever taken. So faint, could barely make it out. That's crazy. Patrick Vance Agnew of the Civil Service and Lieutenant William Anderson of the Bombay European Regiment have been sent to take charge of Multan from Diwan Mulraj Chopra. Another old, one of the first photographs ever taken. Were murdered there. Within a short time, the Sikh troops joined in open rebellion. Governor General of India. There's that Governor General again, Lord Dalhousie. Agreed with Sir Hugo, that Commander-in-Chief, that the British East India Company's military forces were neither adequately equipped with transport and supplies, nor otherwise prepared to take the field immediately. He also foresaw the spread of rebellion and the necessity that must arise, not merely for the capture of Multan, but also for the subjugation of the Punjab. He therefore resolutely delayed to strike, organized a strong army for operations in November, and himself proceeded to the Punjab. Despite the brilliant successes gained by Herbert Edwards, against Mulraj, and Gau's indecisive victories, the Battle of Ramnagar, the November, and the Battle of Chilianwala on the 13th of January, 1849. The stubborn resistance at Multan showed the task required the utmost resources of the government. At length, on the 22nd of January, Multan was taken by General Wish, who was thus set at liberty to join Gau's army. On the 21st of February, Gau won a complete victory at the Battle of Gujarat. The Sikh army was pursued to Rawalpindi, where it laid down its arms, and their Afghan allies retreated from the Punjab. After the victory at Gujarat, Lord Dalhousie annexed the Punjab for the East India Company in 1849. For his services, the Earl of Dalhousie received thanks of the British Parliament and was advanced to the peerage of Marquess, the usual honor for Governor General of India. The Sikh Confederacy missiles of the Punjab were consolidated into an empire and expanded by Maharaja Ranjit Singh during the early years of the 19th century. During the same period, the British East India Company's territories had been expanded until they were adjacent to the Punjab. Ranjit Singh maintained an uneasy alliance with the East India Company while increasing the military strength of the Sikh Khalsa army to deter British aggression against his state and expand Sikh territory to the north and northwest, capturing territory from Afghanistan and Kashmir. When Ranjit Singh died in 1839, the Sikh Empire began to fall into disorder. There was a succession of the short-lived rulers at the central Dubar court, and increasing tension between the army, which also saw itself as an embodiment of the state and religion, and the Durbar. The East India Company began to build up its military strength on the borders of the Punjab. Eventually, the increasing tension goaded the Sikh army to invade British territory under weak and possibly treacherous leaders. The hard-fought First Anglo-Sikh War ended in defeat for the Sikh army. We just went over that. At the end of the First Sikh War, the empire was forced to cede some valuable territory to the East India Company, and Gulab Singh, the ruler of Jammu, was also allowed to acquire Jammu and Kashmir from the Sikh Empire by a large cash payment to the East India Company. Some of the Sikh army were forced to make an expedition to oust the governor of Kashmir in favor of Gulab Singh. The boy Maharaja Duleep Singh of the Sikh Empire was allowed to retain his throne, but a British resident, Sir Henry Lawrence, controlled the policy of the Durbar. Duleep Singh's mother, Maharani Jind Kaur, continually tried to regain some of her former influence as regent and was eventually exiled by Lawrence. While some Sikh generals and courtiers welcomed her dismissal Others resented Lawrence's action. Furthermore, the Sikh Sardars were forced to considerably reduce their territorial and judicial control, leaving only 4 Sardars in charge of the judiciary, with Sardar Chattar Singh Atariwala controlling the area between the Jhelum and the Indus. Sardar Khan Singh Man controlling Lahore, Sardar Ram Singh Jawala controlling the Chaj Doab, and Sardar Leena Singh Majithia controlling the Maja, including lands southeast of the Ravi up to the hills and down to Kasur. Some of the Sikh army had to be kept in being, since many predominantly Muslim areas of the Sikh Empire threatened to ally with Dost Muhammad Khan in Afghanistan, or to lapse into disorder, and only force of arms could keep them in subjugation. The British were unwilling to incur the financial and manpower costs of using large numbers of British or Bengal Army units for this task. To the contrary, the Governor-General of India, Viscount Hardinge, sought to make the economies of after the war by reducing the size of Bengal Army by 50,000 men. The Sardars of the Sikh army naturally resented carrying out the orders of comparatively junior British administrators. Sardars are basically generals, by the way. Early in 1848, Sir Henry Lawrence, who was ill, departed on leave to England, although it was assumed that his younger brother, John Lawrence, would be appointed in his place. Lord Dalhousie, who had replaced Lord Hardinge as Governor-General, appointed Sir Frederick Currie instead. Currie was a legalist, based in Calcutta, who was unfamiliar with military matters and with the Punjab, while Lawrence's were comparatively informal and familiar with the junior officers who were residents and agents in the various districts of the Punjab. Currie was stiffer in the manner and was inclined to treat his subordinates' reports with caution. In particular, he refused to act on reports from James Abbott, the political agent in Hazara, who was convinced that Sardar Chattar Singh Atariwala was actively plotting a rebellion with other Sirdars. All right. The city of Multan was part of the Sikh kingdom, having been captured by Ranjit Singh in 1818. In 1848, it was governed by a Hindu viceroy, Dewan Mulraj, after the end of the First Anglo-Sikh War. Mulraj had behaved independently when he was required by the British-controlled Durbar in Lahore to pay an increased tax assessment and revenues which were in arrears. Mulraj attempted to give up power to his son so as to maintain his family's position as rulers. Currie instead appointed Sardar Khan Singh Man to succeed the governorship and appointed the British political agent Lieutenant Patrick Vans Agnew to accompany him. Vans Agnew. Oh, that's Edwards. Huh. On the 18th of April, 1848, Kahan Singh and Vans Agnew arrived at Multan with another officer, Lieutenant William Anderson, and a small escort. Mulraj handed over the keys of the fortress, but as Vans Agnew's party attempted to take possession, they were attacked by a party of Mulraj's irregular troops and a mob from the city. Both officers were wounded and were rescued by Kahan Singh. They were taken to a mosque outside the city. Their escorts defected to Mulraj, and the 2 officers were murdered by the mob the next day. Mulraj later claimed that he had not instigated these attacks, but he was committed to rebellion because of them. He presented Van Agnew's head to Kahan Singh and told him to take it back to Lahore. News of the killings spread over the Punjab, and the unrest and disquiet increased. Large numbers of Sikh soldiers deserted the regiments loyal to the Durbar to join those prepared to rebel under the leadership of Mulraj and disaffected Sirdars. Lieutenant Herbert Edwards, the British political agent in Bannu, had been near Multan in April but was unable to save Van Zagnew. He hastily levied some Pakhtun irregular troops. On the 18th of June, 1848, 8,000 Bawalpuris, I don't fucking know. Yo! I'm muted. What the fuck? Am I really? Oh, okay. Somehow your volume was all the way down. What the fuck? Oh, shit. Well, welcome in, Dano. How you doing? Let's go. Shit. Where was I at? I don't know. Either way. 8,000 Bahawalpuris, I'm going to go ahead and guess, under Futteh Muhammad Khan, aided by 3,000 Sikh irregulars under Lieutenant Edwards, fought 8,000 Sikhs under Rung Ram. The Bawalpuris were repulsed in an attack on Sikh positions, but the arrival of Lieutenant Edwards' guns turned the scale towards the favor of Bawalpuris. And at the second attempt, the entrenchments were stormed and captured, with the loss of the victors of 300 men. The Sikhs lost 500 in the action, and many more during their flight to Multan. Damn it. No, you're good. You're good. I'm not worried about it. The Battle of Sudusain fought on the 1st of July, 1848, when a force of Bawalpuris and British 18,000 strong under Lieutenant Edwards encountered 12,000 Sikhs under Maharaj. The Sikhs attacked, but were beaten off. Yeah, that's pretty disgusting. Largely owing the superiority of the British artillery and defeated with heavy loss. Why'd they have to beat him off, though? That's just not right. The Bawalpuris then proceeded to chase the remaining scattered Sikhs all the way to Multan, where they would beat them off further. I'm just kidding. Multan, defended by the Sikhs under Mulraj, was besieged by Lieutenant Edwards with about 1,200 men in July 1848. On learning the events at Multan, Currie wrote to Sir Hugh Gough, the commander-in-chief of the Bengal Army, recommending that a major British force should at once move upon Multan. However, Gough, supported by Dalhousie, the Governor-General, declined the order major units of the East India Company to the Punjab until the end of the hot weather and monsoon seasons, which would not be until November. Yeah, get stalled by the weather. Get fucking stalled by the weather. Holy shit. Hilarious. Oh, that's not yet. We'll get to that one next. Hold on. Instead, Currie ordered only a small force from Bengal Army under General Wish and several contingents of locally recruited irregulars and detachments of the Sikh Khalsa Army to join the siege. These forces joined Edwards at Multan between 18th and 28th of August. To the alarm of several political agents, the force from the Sikh army included a large contingent commanded by Sardar Ser Singh Atariwala, Chatar Singh's son. Some political agents were already taking action to forestall outbreaks of rebellion. Captain John Nicholson, leading a regular cavalry based at Peshawar, seized the vital fort of Attock on the Indus River from its Sikh garrison while they were still unprepared or undecided on rebellion. Either way, they still got their asses whooped. Nicholson's force then linked up with James Abbott's local Hazara levies to capture the Margala Hills, which separated Hazara from the other parts of the Punjab. When Chatar Singh openly rebelled in August, his force was unable to leave Hazara without fighting a battle. Although Chatar Singh twice succeeded in capturing passes through the hills, he nevertheless failed to take advantage of this, possibly because of dissension among his senior officers and continual harassment by pro-British irregulars, and retreated into Hazara. Yep, you boxed yourself into a bunch of fucking people that either don't care about your cause or in opposition to it. Fucked. On the 14th of September, Sher Singh's army openly rebelled at Multan. He did not join Mulraj, however. He and Mulraj conferred at a carefully chosen neutral site, at which it was agreed that Mulraj would give some money from his treasury to Sher Singh's army, which would march north into central Punjab and ultimately rejoin Chatar Singh. Meanwhile, Wish was forced to raise the siege on the 22nd of September. As the cold weather began in November, substantial contingents from the East India Company's armies at last took the field. A contingent from the Bombay Army, administered separately from the Bengal Army, had been ordered to reinforce Wish and besiege Multan. This force was delayed by a petty squabble over seniority, and could arrive only when its first commander, who was senior to Wish and refused to serve under him, was replaced by a more junior officer. Damn it, dude. Wish's army was supplied and reinforced by sea and river transport up the rivers Indus and Chenab. Wish renewed the siege of Multan on the 27th of December with 17,000 men and 64 guns. After a heavy bombardment, the city was stormed on the 2nd of January, 1849. On the 22nd of January, Mulraj surrendered the citadel. He was imprisoned for the remainder of his life. The ending of the siege allowed Wish, with large numbers of heavy guns, to reinforce the army under Sir Hugo. The British loss during the siege was 210 killed and 910 wounded. Rungur Mosul Fort was controlled by Sher Singh Atariwala and was the first sign of revolt from Lahore Durbar. The Sikhs from the new army saw the British troops coming in and attacked them with full force. The Sikhs won the battle, but soon they surrendered, as there was a very small force. Yeah, they were fucking teeny force. They still won, though. I don't know why they surrendered. That should have, added to the morale, being the smaller force and winning twice. What the fuck? How do you lose morale off of that? It's like, man, we're just exhausted. We're just tired of fighting. Might have been that. They might have just been fucking over it, dude. Just over it. Sir Hugo led his main force against Sher Singh's army, which defended the line of the river Chenab for several weeks. On the 22nd of November, 22nd of November, the Sikhs repelled a British cavalry attack on the bridgehead on the eastern side of the river at the Battle Ramnagar. Close. Almost fucked up and said something that might have been getting me cancelled. Just saying. Although they subsequently withdrew from their exposed bridgehead, the Sikhs captured a British gun and inflicted heavy losses. They regarded the battle as a victory, and their morale was raised. The Battle of Sadalpur on the 3rd of December, 1848, Gode dispatched a cavalry force under Major General Joseph Thackwell to cross the Chenab upstream of Ramnagar and turn the Sikh left. But Thackwell then paused to await infantry reinforcements, allowing the Sikhs to withdraw without interference. Gao claimed this indecisive action as a victory. Oh, come on. Really? You're gonna claim that as a victory? You bastard. At the start of 1849, Amir Dost Muhammad Khan of Afghanistan sided with the rebellious Sikhs, who agreed to cede the city of Peshawar and its surrounding area, which had been conquered by Ranjit Singh early in the 19th century. Dost Muhammad Khan's support of the Sikhs was cautious, but when 3,500 Afghan horsemen approached the vital fort of Attock on the Indus River, its garrison of Muslim troops installed earlier by Nicholson defected. This allowed Chitar Singh to move out of Hazara and march west and then south, intending to link up with Sher Singh's army. Dalhousie had earlier ordered Gao to halt operations while waiting for Multan to fall, which would allow Wish to reinforce him. Learning of the fall of Attock, he instead ordered Gao to destroy Sher Singh's army before Chitar Singh could join him. Gao unexpectedly encountered Sher Singh's position near the Jhelum River on the 13th of January, 1849. Sher Singh had cunningly concealed his army, and Gao was faced with the choice of withdrawing or attacking when it was late in the day. Gao unhesitatingly took the latter course. A resulting battle of Chilianwala was desperately fought. Gao's troops, attacking into thick scrub without effective artillery support, suffered heavy losses. Some units under their colors and part of one British cavalry regiment fled in panic, resulting in the loss of 4 guns. Also reckoned a humiliation. Of course it did. Sher Singh's army was also hard hit, losing 12 of its own guns. Damn. 3 days of heavy rain, discouraging both sides from renewing battle. After both armies had faced each other for 3 days without renewing the action, both withdrew. Sher Singh continued northwards to join Chitar Singh, which made the battle into a strategic British defeat. Gao nevertheless claimed victory, which Dalhousie scornfully dubbed as perhaps poetical. There was much alarm at the losses of Gao had suffered. His tactics were severely criticized. Yeah, because he was fucking terrible. Military experts in Britain describe him as a superannuated general who could not mount his horse without assistance, and he was replaced by General Charles James Napier, who would require several weeks to arrive from England. Some junior officers reckoned that the true cause of the setback lay lower down in the ranks. Promotion in both the British and Bengal armies came slowly, and by the time officers were appointed to command regiments and brigades, they were too old and worn out by harsh climate and disease. At Chilianwala, several senior officers had proved unable to command their units effectively because they had dementia. I'm just fucking kidding. I don't know. That's just a joke. The dementia thing is a joke. I don't really know if they had dementia. I'm not trying to spread false information, but that is a joke. Meanwhile, Wish's force completed their siege works around Multan. Their batteries opened fire and made a breach in the defenses, which the infantry stormed. Mulraj surrendered on the 22nd of January. The ending of the siege allowed Wish to reinforce Gao. In particular, Wish's division had large numbers of heavy guns, which the Sikhs lacked. As Gao's army closed in on Sikh army, he sent William Hodson to scout the Sikhs' army position. Sher Singh attempted a last outflanking move, sending cavalry to cross the Chenab and recrossing Gao's rear. They were thwarted by heavy rains, which made the river difficult to cross, and by British irregular cavalry led by Harry Burnett Lumsden. Fuck. Sorry. Fucking terrible at reading tonight. I don't know what the fuck the deal is. On the 21st of February, Gao attacked the Sikh army at the Battle of Gujarat. Here, he began the battle with 3-hour bombardment of almost 100 guns, which drove the Sikhs from their hasty entrenchments. Okay, now mind you, this shit's happening in like 1848, 1849, right? It's only 100 years until just after the Civil War, and it's less than 100 years until World War One. We're starting to get into the heavy bombardments of artillery, right? This is where this shit starts to develop, when the big cannons came out, and sieging places was fucking a lot easier. You could tear down a lot more shit with cannonballs. So, naturally, what do you go and do? Try and make bigger cannons. And then you have the kind of weaponry you had in World War One, which is not short after all of these events. Not long after. On the 21st of February, Go attacked the Sikh army at the Battle of Gujrat. Here he began the battle with three-hour bombardment from almost 100 guns, which drove the Sikhs from their hasty entrenchments. He then sent his cavalry, led by Sir Joseph Thackwell, and a horse artillery after them in a pursuit which lasted for 4 hours. The Sikhs began gradually retreating into rougher territory, filled with Muslim villagers who mainly supported the British against the Sikhs. The Sikh loss was estimated at between 3,000 and 5,000 men and 53 guns. The British casualties were 96 and 700 wounded. Damn. Talk about a fucking one-sided victory. Holy shit. On the 12th of March, Chatar Singh and Ser Singh surrendered to Sir Walter Gilbert and Rawalpindi. Some 20,000 men, mainly irregular cavalry, laid down their arms. The Afghan contingent hastily withdrew through Attock and Peshawar, which the British reoccupied. Dost Muhammad Khan later signed a treaty acknowledging British possession of these cities. The British had also gained control of the Khyber Pass, which became the westernmost boundary of the British Raj. The British rule was largely welcomed by the local Muslim population, which had detested the rule of the Sikh Empire. This was also due to the fact that the British re-allowed the Muslim call of prayer to go on, which had been banned by the Sikhs, and the British also reconstructed many mosques which had been desecrated and left under decay by Sikh rule. Well, now hold on. Don't take that too like, oh, Sikhs are dicks. Just a bunch of dicks. And let all that shit rot. Well, I mean, if you spend a long-ass time, basically the entire beginning of your fucking religion, having your religious leaders be assassinated one after another by, Muslims that don't accept your religion as a fucking religion. Oh, you're not gonna convert to Islam? Okay, you're dead. Same thing with the fucking Hindus. Like, the Hindus were working along with it. They were getting persecuted on both sides of the religious spectrum. And then the British came in and fucked their empire up entirely. So it's not like there wasn't a resentment there already pre-existing when they obtained the power. So it's like, can the Muslims really bitch about Sikhs leaving their temples to, disheveled bullshit when, they were the underdog. And then they seized power. So, you either have to deal with it or get the fuck out. You know what I mean? Like, the underdog beat you. Sorry, you can't be pissed about that. You can't. Just wanted to throw that out there. It's not like, oh, one guy was being an asshole. No, everybody was being assholes to each other, right? Everyone was being assholes to each other, including the British. They don't just get to come in and act like, everybody gets to act like the British is a bunch of heroes in this situation. They shouldn't even been there militarily in the first fucking place. What the hell? But, the British Empire, they were doing things and stuff back in the day. Not so much anymore. Back in the day, they were cool, though. Sorry, UK friends. Guys are just relegated to that small island now. we had to go and fight for our independence, and that made the rest of the world be like, you know what, we should do that too. Unfortunate. Lord Dalhousie proclaimed the Britain's annexation of the Punjab April 2nd, 1849. His foreign secretary, Henry Mears Elliot, arrived at Lahore to obtain the signatures of the members of the Council of Regency and Duleep Singh. A durbar was held in Lahore Fort, where Singh affixed his signatures to the document which confirmed the annexation. The Sikh defeat had several causes. Their administration of the population of the Punjab had been poor, which meant that their large armies found it difficult to find enough food, while the East India Company had brought overwhelming force against them. The Anglo-Sikh wars gave the two sides a mutual respect for each other, fighting prowess. Although the war itself had been unchivalrously fought, the Sikhs took no prisoners at Chilianwala, and the British had taken no prisoners at Gujarat. There was an increased recruitment of people from various communities of the Punjab in the Punjab Irregular Force under British command. These recruits fought for the East India Company during the Indian Rebellion of 1857 against the mutineers and other opponents, mostly high-caste Hindus from eastern provinces and forces or loyalists of Shia, Maratha, and Mughal rulers. These Punjabi recruits had especially little sympathy with the Hindu mutineers of the Bengal Army, ironically contributed to by the latter's role in helping the British in the Anglo-Sikh Wars. A long history of enmity of the Sikhs with Mughal rule did not help the mutineers' cause either, giving their choice of Bahadur Shah Zafar as a symbolic leader. And that continues. I mean, I could read a little bonus section real quick. I just want to throw this out there. Just real quick. Pull this picture back up because it's relevant, right? Alright. That photo. Fucking John McCosh, a surgeon in the Bengal Army, is considered by some historians to be the first war photographer known by name. He produced a series of photographs documenting the Second Anglo-Sikh War. These consisted of portraits of fellow officers, key figures from campaigns, administrators, and their wives and daughters, including Patrick Alexander Vans Agnew. This photo right here that we are currently looking at. Generals Gow and Napier and Dewan Mulraj of Multan. He also photographed the local people and architecture, artillery emplacements, and the destructive aftermath. Yeah, dude was a legend. Took the first. Well, I mean, maybe not the first, but was the first war photographer to be known by name. Let's fucking go for John McCosh. John McCosh, the fucking champion. Yeah, that's the end of the Anglo-Sikh Wars, both 1 and 2, and the dismantling of the Sikh Empire. Dang it. We might come back to the Sikhs later and go over the Afghan Sikh Wars, because that's kind of interesting too. But in the meantime, before we get into the Hungarian Ottoman Wars and lead right on into Vlad the Impaler on Halloween, which I have a shit ton of stuff pulled for that, we're going to get into some other stuff. Like, well, first, actually, I'm going to get into this, right? The Four Heavenly Kings of Tokugawa. That's what I'm going to talk about real quick, because this is what we're going to get into in the next couple of days. Okay, the Four Heavenly Kings of Tokugawa. This is the guy we're going to talk about tomorrow, or at least one of them. He's the main guy we're going to talk about tomorrow. However, the Four Heavenly Kings of the Tokugawa is a Japanese sobriquet. Okay, so a sobriquet is like, Mahatma Gandhi would be a sobriquet, right? Like Mahatma wasn't his real name. I'm trying to remember his real name. Fuck, it's like Mohandas or something. Mohandas Gandhi, I think, was his real name. Mahatma is a term. It's like great spirit or great soul or something like that in fucking Sanskrit or some, like, I think it's one of the India languages, right? So, but that's the equivalent of like a sobriquet. Describing 4 highly effective samurai generals who fought on behalf of Tokugawa Ieyasu in Sengoku period. They were famous during their lifetimes as the 4 most fiercely loyal vassals of Tokugawa clan in the early Edo period. Okay, so now that we know what the 4 heavenly kings of Tokugawa are, we are going to be talking about all of them, but we're going to start with Honda Tadakatsu. Okay, Honda Tadakatsu, that's this guy right the fuck here, legend, was a Japanese samurai general and daimyo of late Sengoku through early Edo periods who served Tokugawa Ieyasu. Honda Tadakatsu was one of the Tokugawa 4 heavenly kings, along with Naomasa, Sakakibara Yasumasa, and Sakai Tadatsugu. It was reported that he never suffered a single wound despite participating in a total of 57 military campaigns throughout his life. Let's fucking say that again. It was reported that he never suffered a single wound despite participating in a total of 57 military campaigns throughout his life. Honda Tadakatsu is a true legend. Holy 57 conflicts. Dude never received an injury. Epic. Epic, dude. And then, after we finish talking about Honda Tadakatsu, there's going to be an honorable mention of Tachibana Munashige, another Japanese samurai. During the Azuchi Momoyama period and in Edo period daimyo. He was the eldest biological son of Takahashi Shigetane, a senior retainer of the Otomo clan. He was adopted by Tachibana Dotetsu and later married his daughter Tachibana Ginchio, succeeding the Tachibana clan. Dude was evidently like fucking tall for a Japanese guy. Like he was just fucking tall. And apparently he rode a large horse. But the dude's also extremely well educated as far as samurai are concerned. And that's another thing I wanted to talk about is like samurais weren't just warriors. They were like highly educated. They weren't just like, oh, let's go out and fight. Like there's a whole culture around samurais. We're going to get into that. I know we're going to deviate a little bit when going back into the Ottoman stuff, right? With the Ottoman-Hungarian wars and Vlad the Impaler. But literally all of November is going to be ninja shit November. And since samurais are the original fucking ninjas, by like what a shinobi standard actually is, yeah, November's going to be all samurai shit. We're going to talk about fucking the real ghosts of Tsushima, right? The Mongol invasion of Tsushima. We're going to talk about all kinds of shit. Japanese invasion of Korea several times. Like, fuck, there's going to be all kinds of stuff. But we're going to start off with some samurai shit, because samurai shit is epic. Let's fucking go. Other than that, chat, you're still free to request whatever the hell you want. As far as wars are concerned, the only one that I refuse to do is the Revolutionary War. Because the Revolutionary War will be done on Independence Day. Every year I'll redo it, we'll go over it again, pull out some new details from, the previous episode. It's not going to be just a repeat. But that's going to be my Independence Day thing. Every year is going to be the American independence, the Revolutionary War. So, that is the only request I will not accept. Other than that, every other war throughout history, which there is a fucking swath of them. I don't think if I did this every single day for the rest of my life, I could cover every war that has ever been, or military conflict. So, feel free to pick whatever one, and if we haven't done it already, then I'm fully willing to fucking throw down. Let's go. That being said, it is time. It is time. That is all the content I have for battle tactics and war strategies this evening. This fucking evening. But we will be back tomorrow with Honda Tadakatsu and his fucking life story. Let's go, buddy. And then we'll talk about the other guy. Not necessarily as cool. Still cool, not necessarily as cool. I don't think there's many people that, could be dressed in light armor in comparison to what other samurai were wearing at the time and still not receive a single wound after entering into 57 military campaigns. That's fucking wild. Let's be real. That guy's a freaking crazy person. Anyways, my time with you this evening has come to an end. That being said, I hope all of you have a wonderful morning, afternoon, evening, or night. Wherever you're at in the world, enjoy your time because it may be limited. Fortunately for everybody, my time is not. That's why I will be back really soon after this stream is done, probably 20 minutes or so, with another fucking stream. Only it's going to be gaming, because I'm trying to rush through Final Fantasy XII so that we can get started on some voice acting gaming streams, because I'm just going to do that shit again. Why the fuck not? Everybody fucking loved that shit when I was doing it on Facebook. We'll do it over here too. Let's fucking go. Bringing back the voice acting. It's going to be fun. That being said, again, I hope you all have a wonderful morning, afternoon, evening, or night. Wherever you're at in the world, doesn't matter. Enjoy your time because it may be limited. You might be drinking that cup of coffee, and it was just a little too caffeinated. A little too much sugar. And now, your heart has literally beat the shit out of your chest, opened up a cavity, and ran away, leaving you lifeless on the floor. You don't want that, but it could happen. So, enjoy your fucking time. That being said, my time is up, and I am just about out of here if I could fucking pay attention and not be a noob. Alright, I'll catch y'all later. 20 minutes or so-ish. Sooner. I don't know. We'll see. We'll fucking see.
just wish he knew. Just wish he knew.